7 o'clock. I will call a common council meeting to order. Have roll call, please.
Denkert, Gallops, Gotsky.
Here.
Iverson.
Here.
Bremer.
Here.
Schatzinger.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
Split.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Paul. I'm a Christian pastor, and so I'll be praying in Jesus' name, and so I invite you to join me only if you feel comfortable doing so. So it's my understanding that God has spoken to us through His Word, and so His Word can guide us as we speak to Him. This is the 23rd Psalm that will guide my prayer this evening for our city and our council. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. So God, thank you that you describe yourself as a shepherd who protects and provides for His people. We're in continuous need of your guidance and your provision and your protection. So please work through Ripon citizens and leaders tonight and in the following days to provide for the good of all who call Ripon home. Verse 3 says, He restores my soul, who leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. God, thank you that all you do all these things for your name's sake. So please lead our city council members with integrity, that their words and actions tonight would reflect righteousness. Verse 4 says, Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So God, we recognize that each one of us will face death eventually. So thank you that you sent your eternal Son to take on human flesh, to live a perfectly righteous life and die a sacrificial death, that we would not need to fear death because He rose triumphantly from the grave in place of all who believe. So God, I thank you that the greatest demonstration of your redeeming love and power is at the cross and the empty tomb, that we need not fear death anymore. Verses 5 and 6 say, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So God, thank you for the elected officials and city staff gathered here at these tables. Please surround them with your goodness and mercy. Thank you for the whole city and all who've gone before us to make the city what it is today. Thank you for the current elected officials and city employees and businesses and churches and other organizations and families and individuals all working together to make Ripon a great place to live and work. So God, please grant each council member the humility to listen well to one another and the ability to articulate their own opinions as they work together to make progress toward the best possible solution for each issue on tonight's agenda. So I ask these things with humble confidence in the great and coming King Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, would anyone like to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Jonathan, second by Steve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. No one has signed up for public comment. Moving into accepting informal reports from standing committee and staff, would there be a motion to approve the list as published?
I'll make a motion to approve the list as published.
I'll second.
Motion by Doug, second by John. Any discussion? Jolene.
I just want to point out that it was really neat to see Ripon Area School District recognizing the friend of public schools, Ripon Police Department. Congrats to our chief in the department for that. And with the start of school, you know, safety is of utmost important for our young people in our community. So I just wanted to highlight that and say thank you to all that serve.
Thank you. Doug?
I'd just like to recognize the hard work that Ashlyn Zinn has done with the Parks and Rec and the Senior Center, the amount of stuff that she has generated for the city and for the residents and the community at large. I'd also like to take note that the playground was moved from Selfridge Park. It is on its way down to Rockford, Illinois, from what I read here. So it's being reused, and it was in good condition. It's a quality vendor, and I think we're using the same one to replace playground equipment. Am I correct?
Correct.
That's what I thought, this, because they are a good company, and they've been in business a long time, make quality stuff. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Ellen?
Adding to what Doug said, the new park signs around the city and the partnership that Ashton worked with the high school, those signs are fabulous. And thank her for doing that, and thank the high school also for participating.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting informal reports from standing committees and staff, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Next is the consent calendar. This consists of common council minutes from August 12th and 25th, as well as 2 certificates of appropriateness. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as published?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion by Ellen, have a second by Jonathan. Any discussion on the consent calendar? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent calendar as published, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, we're going to move into our public hearing. The time is now 7:07. I will open the public hearing for the proposed discontinuance on vacation of a portion of Hamburg Street. Adam, would you like to give a quick synopsis of this again?
Yeah, in your packet, there is a resolution to follow in the meeting. It describes an area on Hamburg Street. There are 2 parcels that are owned by a single individual, and those 2 parcels are split between what has been found to be an old right-of-way. So last meeting, the Common Council passed a resolution to set a public hearing to review the proposed discontinuation of the right-of-way on Hamburg. There's no utility use or need for this right-of-way. Staff have reviewed and have no concerns. And by essentially removing the right-of-way, the property is then equally split between the 2 abutting properties. So the right-of-way is removed and the properties go into the abutting property owner's property. The intention of that property owner is to join the 2 lots together, but can't do that until this is done. So that is the background of it. We received no comments from anybody regarding the public hearing.
Thank you. Is anyone in the audience here to speak at the public hearing for this item? All right, as there is no one to speak to it, I will close the public hearing at 7:09. And we will have discussion as a council later in the meeting when that topic comes up.
Just a question. If I may.
Go ahead.
Is this one of those things where you have to ask 3 times or it doesn't count? Just from my, like every once in a while you do the thing where you say like, are there any comments? Are there any comments? Are there any comments? And you ask it 3 times.
I don't think anything actually requires that, but I
Yeah, just
tend
checking.
on contentious ones, I tend to ask a lot.
Okay. All right.
All right, so moving on to our next item, which is outdoor open container entertainment event permit application put forward by Ripon Main Street for October 3rd for a Rhythm and Brews event to be held on the 100, 200, and 300 blocks of Watson Street. Would anyone like to start with a motion or any questions? We do have Craig from Main Street here, if anyone has any questions to direct to him.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
I have a motion by Jonathan, second by Ellen. Any questions or comments?
I mean, you know me, when someone shows up, I want to give you an opportunity to share something if you'd like, Craig. Remind me, I remember when this started, it seemed.
Say no.
It seemed so novel, and it was exciting that Ripon was doing this when I didn't see other local communities doing this. Remind me, how many years this has been going, and do you see a trend or anything new this year? I haven't heard
Yeah.
any problems with it.
Right, so this will be the fourth craft beer event. This event is harder to get going than wine walks. Wine walks, they're simple, they just go by themselves. So we're just trying different things and working with home brewers, whatever we can do to just try to have a different angle to this, so it's not just another Oktoberfest. So no problem with Oktoberfest and that kind of thing, but just want to try to make ours different. So then we did move it up 1 week from, it's typically been the second Friday, but we're teaming it up with Ripon College's homecoming events. So
Do you have an anticipated number of people?
I think if we can reach the 150, 250 range, that'll be a good turnout.
Yeah. But always welcome more.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
If there is no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the outdoor open container entertainment event permit application for October 3rd by Ripon Main Street, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you. Moving on to pay application number 4 for Hamburg Henny Reconstruction Project. This is in the amount of $65,548.69, and it is recommended for approval. John?
Are they still on schedule?
So I think Alan had a little note about the project in his staff report that I was going to try to reference, but I can't seem to.
The discussion I had with Alan last week was they are on schedule, but towards the back end of it because of all the rain we've had lately, but they are still technically on schedule.
Oh, Alan's report is in my inbox. I'm sorry. Yes, they are a little behind schedule, and pavement will happen toward the end of this month, but utilities are in, grading is getting done. It's some of the times it rains and it stops all the progress for the day, but generally, we're not missing targets in terms of like substantial completion or anything like that. We're still on target for everything to be completed this year, but for restoration.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the pay application for number 4 for Hamburg Henny Reconstruction Project.
For $65,000.
Or I gotta put my glasses on. $65,548.69.
I'll second.
Motion by John, seconded by Ellen.
Just a question, how many more pay applications do we have on this?
So the outstanding amount is, I believe, around $600,000 because the total completed and stored to date is about $1 million and the pay application is, or the total project is 1.697. So about,
A little over
yeah.
600,000.
So ultimately, we have the retainage at 2.5%, and that continues out there. So generally, the last pay application will be here in 2026, after everything's done.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving pay application number 4 for Hamburg Henny Reconstruction Project in the amount of $65,548.69, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you. All right, moving on to pay application number 1 for Ripon Public Library renovations. This is in the amount of $105,931.65.
I'll make a motion to pay application number 1 for the library in the amount of $105,931.65.
I'll second.
Motion by Doug, second by Steve. Doug?
We did approve this tonight at the library board meeting too.
I'll just make one note. So we're working through the process of approving these pay applications, getting them to MSA and everything for the flexible facilities program grant funding. So this initial, these first pay applications will all be submitted to the state for grant funding. And then, so we'll continue to do this, try to get in a cycle. So try to ensure that library board sees them as well as the council before we issue payment. Because at some point, the grant money will run out and there will be continued pay applications coming.
Jillian?
Can you remind me again why the retainage for the last, that we just talked about was 2.5% and this is 5%? Is it good practice to always be at 5%?
Ultimately, it comes down to overall project scope and generally some of the work that's being completed and industry standard for that type of work. So I think most road projects, we've been at 2.5%. This is a little different in terms of a building and some of the equipment needed and getting it up and running. I mean, it's a far more complex project with multi-facets than putting a road in. So overall, I think we're protected.
Okay, thanks.
And we haven't necessarily had issues.
Thanks.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving pay application number 1 for the Ripon Public Library renovations in the amount of $105,931.65, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, moving on to the resolution to vacate a portion of Hamburg Street, following up on our public hearing from a few minutes ago. Is there anyone that would like to start discussion or make a motion?
I'll make a motion to, for the resolution to vacate a portion of Hamburg Street.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Doug, second by John. Any discussion? John?
This is just a curious question of mine, why it didn't go to Plan Commission first, or will it go to Plan Commission after this?
Yeah, so the Plan Commission doesn't have I believe, the authority to vacate a right-of-way. The Plan Commission will have the authority to parcel the two together.
Okay.
So that will come after this. That's what sort of set this whole thing off, is a CSM that the property owner is working through.
Okay.
That'll come probably next month at Plan Commission.
Steve?
Does that have to be rezoned?
No.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Blank.
It's blank. Blank is fine. We fill that in. Naomi has to look it up.
I usually apply those after the meeting. Once you guys approve it, then I'll give it.
Okay.
Because if I'm not mistaken, they're Did we get the motion already?
No.
And a second.
Yeah,
We did.
I second.
Yeah, thought so. Thank you. Any further discussion? There's no more discussion. All those in, let's see, we're gonna need a roll call vote for this one, for the Street. Adam?
Godsky.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Reamer.
Yes.
Schatzinger.
Yes.
Sorensen.
Yes.
Split.
Yes.
Motion carries.
annual resolution authorizing limited bow hunting within city of Ripon city limits. Looks fairly similar to all previous years that I've seen it. Is there any major differences that I missed?
Number of
Just,
deer kills
yeah,
in year 18.
okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
It says recommended for next hunt, and it includes obtain more hunting locations from residential areas, folks in my district. And I was wondering do they have to get permission to do that? Would they have to go to Ripon College and get permission, or could they do it on city land? They need permission. Okay, but we can do Murray Park. But I would encourage Ripon College then to give permission, because there's a lot of damage. I live near Ripon College. Damage in the area.
Agreed. And Woodlawn Cemetery would be the spot where we could hunt, or they could hunt.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer there.
Yes.
Certain areas, of course, but if there are areas that we can gain access to, either contact me or we will forward that to Craig Bauman, who manages this program. Couple years, and you can see where they are removing deer, and it's based a lot on where we get complaints. So if there's more individuals that would allow, and it's a safe
Property?
you might be a little tight in terms of
It's fenced in, right?
the density might
Fenced
be,
in, but they can jump the fence.
density might be a little much.
And I presume they follow all hunting laws.
They
Which
get
does
nuisance
limit-
tags,
What about by you?
so.
They could, yeah, definitely.
Steve?
Strange question, but when they shoot these deer, they take them someplace else to gut them, right?
If I'm not mistaken, they take them to Beck's, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know, I don't think they, dress the deer in the property. Kept meat, I think they've donated meat, they've done different things over time depending on the amount of kill they get for the year, but,
Well, I was just concerned about rodents.
Yeah, I don't.
Join.
Yeah, I've seen some close calls on roads within the city. I've seen deer, so I do support this. In the past, I will take note that I believe they said that they do try. Are no longer, I think, doing that. There might be some costs involved, but I do want to point out that I know that I believe they had said, even though it's not listed on this, if they can donate it to a food pantry, they try. I would like to see that on here, but I think they verbally said that in the past. And then from the Team Ripon, my guess is the reason they're saying bird feeders is because maybe they see deer feeding on bird feeders that are easily accessible or open. I don't know, but I do feel a little, I don't agree that bird feeders are negative for the city, which is how it's presented theoretically. Anyways, if they're listening, I hope they make that change for next year, but overall, I know they've had a.
I would like to make a motion on this topic.
I move we adopt the resolution authorizing limited bow hunting within the city limits.
I'll second it.
A motion by Ellen, second by Doug. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote for the resolution authorizing limited bow hunting within the city limits. Adam?
Split.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, Next up is an ordinance to amend section 18.04.120, permit period of the municipal code. Adam, you want to take that?
Yeah, I have a brief staff report in the packet regarding this section of the code. You can see the existing language that is pretty inconsistent and doesn't necessarily make any sense, and depending extend the time you have a permit. Ultimately, the language says that a building, electrical, or plumbing permit shall lapse and be void on May 1st after 1 full year following the date of issuance of the permit. To state, unless otherwise specified in this code, a building, electrical, or plumbing permit shall be expired and become void 1 year after the date of issuance if the authorized work has not been completed. If the project is not completed in accordance with the above section, application shall be made to the building inspector for an extension of up to 1 full year at no additional cost to the contractor. Remove the May 1st, provide clarity, and establish essentially a 2-year timeline for building permits, which a lot of that is kind of a state standard for like plans, right? They're good, plans are good for like 2 years. Issue the permit and get the individual working on it faster so we don't get into an extended permit period and we don't have a problem with completing that work within the time frame that's statutorily.
Ellen?
I move we accept the ordinance to amend section 18.04.120, permit period of the municipal code.
I'll second.
Motion by Ellen. Building inspectors have told people that they are only good for a year anyways. They've been doing this in practice. Any discussion on this item? On section 18.04.120, permit period of the municipal code. Adam?
Godsky,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Reamer,
Yes.
Schatzinger,
Yes.
Sorensen,
Yes.
Split.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance to create section 18.24.030, raise permit duration and completion of the municipal code. And this is just following suit for raised permits.
Yeah, again, a little staff note or report regarding the current situation, or there is no real situation and or requirement area in the code, a section on the duration and the need to complete a raise or demolition. Ultimately, this is more of a response to the issue that if you issue this under a general building permit, 2 years, and generally raises need to occur or should occur in a certain timeline because of the nature of the property. And in terms of code enforcement, a lot of times we stop code enforcement when somebody comes and gets a raise permit because they intend to take it down. And it creates a longer nuisance and we end up sort of going backwards, right? And trying to enforce things again and issue raise permits, or sorry, raise and repair orders. So this just essentially gives, sets a duration of 90 days to get it done. Obviously there's failure to a raise order. So even if if something gets really bad, right, we can still pursue that during their demolition of the project. So just sort of cleans it up. What's likely been applied in the past for this particular permit.
I have a question. This is for someone who's applying for a permit. do we ever order a raise for a building?
Yes,
We do.
yes.
Then,
That's different than this.
okay,
This is a request by an owner in view of the fact either they recognize there's a step to eliminate a property which otherwise is going to become blighted or whatever
so then we have a
follows.
separate ordinance that addresses
Exactly.
that other issue.
Exactly.
Okay,
That
thank
we
you.
go forward and we order it raised, that's a different animal.
Okay.
This is where they're anticipating and cooperating, but it puts a limit on that so that we don't get played
Okay,
by the property owner.
cool. Thank you.
So just for clarity here, the 90 days is from start of the work to completion of work, not from issuance of permit to completion of work. So if you get the permit today,
issuance.
and
From the date of issuance.
Date of issuance,
It does. Okay, it does say that. Very good.
Clock starts ticking when we hand you.
So don't get the permit early. Got it.
And generally speaking, those who are getting this type of permit know that they have here that people are slowing, they're taking a long time, right? And it's not, a year to look at a half tore down building is getting, it,
Is that a possibility because of trying to get the contractors to show up to do this?
That was where I was going
Yeah,
with my.
there have
line
been
of questioning.
times.
Yeah,
And
because.
we're not going to stand in the way if it's a,
Okay.
we'll work with them, but the key is we need to know, we told you, we want it down, otherwise we will initiate the work, and nothing in this ordinance prevents us from stepping forward and saying that's enough. But give a call, send an email, we'll work with them.
and that's the unless otherwise approved by the building inspector. So I think there is an intention to be able to extend it and work with people through certain delays, but we are setting the expectation that when they come and get the permit, there's a 90 have their ducks in a row to tear it down, and shouldn't be getting the permit to prevent us from stopping something or, you know, not moving forward with a raise. That's really, Lud mentioned not getting played, that's really the idea.
For doing this, I've had numerous calls in different parts of the city on this issue itself. My next question is, will we be, or will the city building inspector be contacting people that have raised permits out now? And
Yeah.
say they have 90 days now to complete the project?
Yeah, we can contact those individuals
Okay.
and say, you know, you have to get moving,
Okay,
right? I
good.
mean, obviously, this, on some level, are issued before or after the effective date of the section shall be comply with the provisions here on upon passage. So, you know, we'll give them time, but generally, you know, when this passes, we'll sort of start a 90-day clock and work with the property owners to make sure 3-year process, right? You know.
Thank you again
Yeah,
for
of
doing
course.
that.
I move we approve the ordinance to create section 18.24.03.
No.
Iverson,
Yes.
Reamer,
Yes.
Dotzinger,
Yes.
Sorensen,
Yes.
Split.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Project updates and staff reports. Anything for PD? Naomi? Adam?
So you have my report. I also did forward out the Public Works report for the month. I apologize. I can throw that in next meeting's packet as well. Included in my report are a couple updates. 2026 budget, we'll have to set a meeting the week of September 22nd. So either the 23rd, 24th, maybe 25th, depending on overall schedule. But I will get correspondence out to the council to set a date there. State highway planning, we're working on finalizing the utility planning portion of the project that we have authorized with MSA to get the council proposal. I hope to have that later this month. And then there's also work we've been doing on sewer utility user reviews, particularly industrial Class B users that will be presented at the next council meeting to discuss just sampling, billing, rates, ordinance updates. Continue to develop a code enforcement platform that we hope to launch in the coming months. And then the Fond du Lac County Finance Committee met earlier today and had done some research and received a appraisal for the property. Ultimately, the Finance Committee recommended to proceed with foreclosure, so the next step will be setting the time to occur because of the legal side of all of this. That will happen on October 12th. After that date, there will be probably in the next week or so, depending on when their next meeting is, or next month, depending on the county's timeline, a general outlook on it is this will take a little more time, but they are pursuing the foreclosure unanimously. They voted that way. So next, everything they have to get through to take the property. So there is some progress happening there. Happy to answer any other questions. Steve?
When they set the price, are they going to,
Yeah, we have asked them to do that, right? As part of the special assessment process. So that has been requested at the meeting, that they recoup the full costs of taxes and special assessments. We'll see where they go with it. But that was the request.
Any other questions for Adam? Thank you, Adam. All right, tonight I do have one appointment that I'd like to make for.
I'll make a motion to appoint Kelly Myers to the committee.
I'll second it.
Motion by Doug, second by Jolene. Any discussion?
I know Kelly Myers. I think she's a phenomenal candidate, and will add, and she's at Ripon College, correct?
She
Or no?
went to Ripon.
She was still there.
No, I don't think she
So,
was.
okay, well, I know her from Ripon College and to be a good person, and will add to this. Actually, speaking of that then, I guess I will make a statement to say, I think having a stronger connection with, all the is an opportunity for us. So anyways, I support her, and she's a good person.
Thank you. Any other comments? None. All those in favor of appointing Kelly?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Thank you. Any future agenda items or comments from council?
I just have one comment. I know it's getting to the end of the mowing season. I see in the road from people mowing their lawns is getting a little excessive, and the Ripon Police Department has a lot better things to do than go around and tell people to get that grass out of the road. So just a reminder that we
Tractors that mow as well. I have actually seen them blowing grass with a leaf blower into the street.
Oh dear.
Well said, my colleague, for saying that. And, for those listening, I mean, it can be both a danger. I've seen cars goes into our drains, into our water system. It's adding unnecessary, I believe, phosphorus. So, well said. Thank you for that reminder. And this is why it's important. Also, I want to add that this weekend is the Freeland Film Festival. But it's just, 10 minutes down the road. And this is an international, people are coming right now. There are people from, I can tell you, Barcelona, Nairobi, who are in the area excited for this film festival. It is meant to both inspire and educate. Films that show good that's happening in the world and ending trafficking, both animal and human. So I hope that people can go. They're still looking for volunteers. It's this weekend, Friday through Sunday. Freeland Film Festival. Thank you.
Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion by Doug, second by Steve.